people need to join us.
Okay, vamos a ver. Internet connections.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Su Eng Lian. I am Su Eng Lian, an EPS student, and currently I am also a student council for this year. Today is another day for me to be here as an MC, and this is really my pleasure to have all of you guys here with us. And more importantly, we have Mr. Lai Acheadeth, who is a CS student at Banus University in Indonesia, as our guest speaker. And today he will respond into a topic about AI in the business sector. Anyway, if you guys have any question, please don't be hesitate to drop it in the chat box or wait until the Q&A session. And if you guys unmute yourself, it would be better. Okay, so let's welcome Mr. Quebec for the introduction and as well as the discussion also. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. So, yep, I guess it has introduced me to you guys, so I will just start with my presentation shortly. Yep. Okay, so let me share the screens and so first of all, can you see my screen? Kindly reply in the chat box, please.
Yes, I can.
Okay, so thank you for the info. And yeah, let's get started. So hope now. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the AI in business sector. It's by me. And first of all, before getting to know anything, you have to know AI in general before we talk about the AI in business. So what is AI? And before talking about AI, we should dig deep into the history of AI. So, yep, as it said on the slide, the term artificial intelligence has been introduced since the mid 19, which is 1955, but I forgot to mention that. And the first AI ever invented was a complete game of checker. Have any of you guys used to play checker before? Well, if you used to play checker, then you know how it goes, like the logic, the everything of it. So they basically built a robot that can play checker against you, but not really efficient one, just like a beginner's level. And then later on, and they updated it to become like a really expert in the game checker field using an algorithm that is called minimax algorithm. But you will see later. Just know that. Okay, and following with Sharper as the first machine learning demonstration. And Sharper is basically a shopping application where they recommend you some product, and you can buy the recommend product from them. And yep, artificial intelligence is basically described as any test performed by a machine that would have previously been considered to require by human intelligence. So anything that simulates human intelligence and is not performed by human, that's artificial intelligence. That's what the word artificial itself means. It's not human, but it's as intelligent as human does. That's why we call it previously been considered to require human intelligence. Simple as that. So you guys can still hear me well, right? Or am I talking along? Hello? Hello?
Yes, we can
Oh,
hear
okay.
you.
Okay, good. Yeah. Just to keep track. Yeah. Okay. So hopefully you guys understand what artificial intelligence is. Any task that used to be performed by human but is now not performing by human, it's artificial intelligence. One simple way. Yeah. So this is the artificial intelligence subfield, and there are many. So if you guys wish to pursue your career in AI, you can choose one of these, because you cannot just study AI and do everything all by yourself. No, AI has a lot of software. You have to choose one specifically to work in. So first we have the famous one, which is machine learning. Machine learning is about teaching the machine to learn something by itself using some sort of algorithm. So instead of traditional method, we give the machine some instruction, and then the machine follow the instruction and execute the test based on the instruction. Now we give them some kind of algorithms that machine can use and then can learn by itself using that algorithm, which is a one way ahead of what we have before. That's what machine learning is. And deep learning. What is deep learning? Deep learning is actually a subfield of machine learning, and it's a machine learning techniques that enable the machine itself to learn by using the multiple layers of neurons. And it is inspired by the study of our brain cell, of our neurons in the brain cell. So to make it simple, in our brain, we have a lot of neurons and a lot of layers. And then that neurons propagate information through those multiple layers before results in some kind of outputs, and then do some decision making tests. Deep learning is like that, but it just mimic the way of how to learn things, and then you know converts everything into the computer world. Yeah. So it has its own neurons, and it has its multiple layers of neuron as well. So it basically just like human head. That's why we call it deep learning. Humans are able to think deep because of the brains that has multiple layer and those stuff, and deep learnings are into that as well. It's just basically the same. Yeah. And cognitive computing is a big topic, but in simple term, it's about a machine mimic the human brains and make the decision. So the really good example is robot. Robot can simulate human brain, and robot can make decision based on their learning and based on their learning. Yes, and yep, simple as that. Cognitive computing is a type of machine that can simulate human brains and make decisions, just like robot. And computer vision is the ability to enable computer to see. So like we do, we have eyes and then we can see everything all around us. And right now we are at a level where we teach computer how to see the same way as we do. But computer won't see the same way as we do. As you guys know, computer, we only see the numbers, formatters, everything. But we will teach it to be accurately enough to see as great as we do by using some sort of algorithm. Yeah. So it's an ability to enable computer to see. And natural language processing is the ability to enable computer to understand language and respond in language as well. So let's give a real example. We have Amazon Alexa and Google Home Assistant and Siri in iPhone. You can talk to them and ask, what's the weather's like? And then they will reply to us, the weather is like this and this and that. And I mean, how fascinating it is. It is indeed fascinating. Why is that? Now, instead of a human replying to you, a machine is actually replying to you, learning how you speak and reply back to you. That's why it's called artificial intelligence as well, because it's non-human, but it can perform human tasks and speak just like human do. And I found this really amazing. It is indeed. And last, we have data mining. Data mining is about mining the data, mining the important information or insight from the massive amount of data and put that insight into good use, such as developing business development strategies, and more. Yep, that's what data mining is. Just like we mine gold. When we mine gold, we don't just get gold. We have to clean it, reprocessing it before we get the real gold. Data mining is like that. We have to go through so many steps before we get the really important data that can be put into good use. And you know, we are living in the 21st century, and data is like gold. It's almost everything. Yeah. So let's go to the next slide. Then AI in the industry. So I have mentioned 6 of the fields here, 6 of the industries here. And this is not all. AI right now is almost in every industry. It's not only for healthcare, business, environment, finance, and education. It's also for sport. It's also for gaming. It's also for agriculture. It's basically every industry right now that surrounds ourselves. AI right now is everywhere around us. It's ubiquitous. But this is the 5 big industry that we all know and can relate to. Okay, so this is real world applications. And yep, this is some of the famous machine learning application. And first we have self-driving cars by Tesla, where they use computer vision to be able to see the road, to see the constraint which they have, to see the traffic light, and to see many other objects so they can decide whether to go or not, whether to stop or not. And we have Google Assistant, where we can talk to the Google and then they reply us with some information back. They will query some information back from the internet, then they get something and they give us back in this speech format, which is amazing. And we have facial filter. So if any of you guys use editing apps before, such as Snapchat or Instagram filters. You know what it is. You put your face on the camera, and what happened? Your face turned into what? Dinosaurs, Naruto, Sasuke. Yeah, it's transforming your face into something, yeah, just by using camera. That's facial filter with that facial filter app is also one of the machine learning application. I mean, imagine how complex and complicated it is just to draw every pixels, every image on your face by getting your face and turn your face into something else. I mean, it's incredible. You may not think it is, but when you learn to develop one using some computer vision, you will realize how difficult it is, and you will realize how amazing it is just to make that kind of app. It's just impressive. I told you, it really is. And then we have films suggested by Netflix, where usually when you watch movie, yep, they will recommend you another movie. Like if you watch this, you might also watch this. They are trying to predict what you like even before you know what you are liking. That's impressive. And then location learning by Google Map. Yep, they have like two alternative roads. One is the best route, and another one is the alternative route. And then it's your choice to decide which one to take. That's location learning by Google Map. And they use some sort of algorithm. And algorithm, which I know is Dijkstra, and you can figure it out by yourself. Yeah. So how AI implemented in business industry, or more like, why do we need AI in business anyway? So yep, all modern business adopt AI in their company so as to stay for the long run. So why is that? Well, I'm telling you, AI is the future. It is a revolution. It is as big as the internet. You remember when the first internet was introduced? It was not this big, and no one's ever believed in how internet turned out to be this day. But now look how internet revolutionized our life. AI is like that. It's going to revolutionize our life once more, and it's even bigger than internet has done ever before. So AI is the future. Yeah, remember that. And it gives the company advantages over the traditional method they use. Yep. Well, AI gave us a lot of benefit, which we will discuss in the later slide. And more than that, it overcomes a lot of limitation which we used to have before. And that's why it is over the traditional method in terms of advantages. And supporting human with robot is a huge success. Yeah, because human working with human can cause human error, but human working with robot has a really insane accuracies, and yeah, it will result in a perfect practice. Okay, so AI in business tests. So this is some of the major tests we have. So we have data analytics, automation, and creating new products. Actually, the test here it's depend on how you want to say it, but I'm gonna make it into three major points. And the first one is data analytics. So like I said, data is everything in this 21st century, and AI is able to analyze and get insight from data never before possible. Why do I said that never before possible? Actually, human can analyze and get insight from data as well. But the phrase never before possible here means human have limitation. Human can get tired. Human cannot work 24 hours a day, even though with the help of electricity. That's one thing. So imagine human can work only 7 hours a day, and then machine can work 24 hours a day without ever getting tired, just by the help of the electricity. So which one is more efficient in terms of analyzing data? Analyzing data is a task that takes a really hardworking things. And the more you work hard, the more you get the important information. So no wonder AIs can perform better than we do in this test because it never gets tired. It will just keep digging important information. Yeah. So automation here is just to alleviate or reduce repetitive or even dangerous tests. So yeah, as as it said, it's you know there are some tests that is dangerous, just like in the labor or factory, some of the tests which is really dangerous, and then we can replace it by the machine. And then the alleviate repetitive test means that before we spend at least 1 to 2 humans to do the repetitive test because we have no option. We have to hire someone to do that. And before it's a troublesome, and we always find a more efficient solution to do that. Like find somebody to do this test, like instead of human. And then now our dreams come true. We have machine that do automation. So yep, this has we don't have to do anymore. And yeah, we have to be able to create new product, service, and market. So before, like I said, without AIs, there are limitations. But with AIs, we are able to create new product, service, and market. For example, without AI, are we able to create facial recognition apps? No, of course not. But with the help of AI now, we are able to create the facial recognition app, which is now really popular. Yeah, simple example. Okay, so the benefit that AIs give to you. So there are 4 benefits. So first one is productivity. And productivity, yes, because let me look at my notes. What I have to say. Yeah, so by implementing the automated systems, the rate of production is likely to increase. Why is that? Because it's able to run more efficiently with less downtime. Usually in the production stage, if it is handled by human, there tends to be some human error. But if it is handled by the machine itself, machines don't know when to fall. I mean, they know when to fall, but not as much as human error does. It's more efficient. And it's the truth that I'm saying here. And yep, if we can automate everything by the automation provided by AI, then humans won't have time to do all those unnecessary stuff, and then they will have time to deal with a bigger challenge or a higher value task. So this way, the small test we let the robot do, and then the bigger test which the robot can do, we ourselves do it. That's how it increases productivity. Instead of before, the unnecessary tasks human have to do it, the necessary tasks human have to do it. Now all the unnecessary things robot do it, and we human that have a really smart brain just focus on high challenge tasks. Yeah. So before moving further, we still have 3 points left. So are you guys following? Are you guys following?
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, okay, thanks. Um, Yep, I can swap and go to the Google Meet and check the chat myself, so I can inform. Yep. Okay, so the second thing is cost saving. So why is it cost saving? Well, since everything has been automated, AI are able to do 100 tests all at once. So a work that should require at least 100 humans to do, is now monitored by one AI system. For example, before we need to have 100 salesmen to sell to 100 customers. But now we only need one AI platform, and then all customers can chat to their apps, and then the apps will use some kind of chatbot and replies with everyone at the same time. So imagine how cost saving it is. I mean, come on, instead of hiring 100%, you only need to make one AI engine, and then you can perform a 100% test. Yeah, that's just an example. Actually, there are some machines that can operate like 10,000, 100,000, and even more by replacing that huge amount of humans. So, yep, it costs saving, as I told you. And then we have safety. Safety, yep, is related to data security. Data security is also involved in business development strategy as well. So with the help of AI, we are able to detect any frauds or any vulnerability beforehand. And with that, we can solve that earlier. And yeah, when we're able to solve that earlier, we can prevent a lot of cyber attack happening to our company or our institution. Yeah. And the best thing is it's automated. So with the help of analyzing and those everything, it safety a lot. And then innovation, where innovation here is simple. Like before, we only have cameras, right? We don't have the facial recognition. But with AI, we are able to make the facial recognition now. Without AI, camera is still camera. You won't be able to use it to become a facial recognition set. That's what innovation is all about. Yeah, and also some automation tests as well, which before requires us to put instruction to them. Now they can automate themselves. That's what automation is all about. Simple stuff. Okay, so for major application, we have work automation. So before that, I would like to add something. So as machine increasingly complement human labor in workplace, we will all need to adjust to reap the benefits. And machine will be carry out more of the tests done by human, complement the work human do, and even surpass human at some of the tests, which is considered to be dangerous tests as well. And yep, back to the slide. AI-driven work automation is estimated to cut down over 9 million manufacturing jobs in the United States alone. I mean, in this modern world, in the developed country, no one really use human labor anymore. It's expensive. And yep, instead of using human labor, we use automation. I mean, come on, the benefit is there. Why not just rip it? And yep, United States has rip it right now. And it's not United States. There are many other countries. And yep, manufacturing companies are utilizing AI technology towards smarter use of resources. Yep, manufacturing company does that in order to minimize their production costs and increase their productivity. And I have explained many of those things all about, so I'm not gonna go any further. Yeah, and by combining AI with IoT, technology companies are using cost, improve productivity, and creating more specialized idea. Well, I have mentioned it previously, so I hope you guys understand. And yep, there's a new term here called IoT. So what is IoT? IoT is Internet of Things. It's things that is embedded with sensor and software and are about to interact or exchanging data via internet. For example, Google Home, Amazon Alexas. Usually we are referring to home appliances that are automated. Those things are called the Internet of Things. But there are actually more than that. But we usually know the home appliances as the Internet of Things. Yeah, so by combining it with AI, haha, it's a win-win situation. Reducing costs, but improve productivity. Okay, so let me use a bit. So are you guys still following, by the way? Oh, can anyone respond? Okay, so I assume you guys do. Um, yeah, let's move forward. Yeah, we have sales and marketing. Business is all about sales and marketing. It's not all about that, but most part of it is all about sales and marketing. And yet, the significant roles of AI in marketing and sales is transforming the function across industry. How does it transform? One perfect example, the test that performed by human is replaced by AI. Yeah, that's how it's transformed. And through automation, people can focus more on high-value tasks which robot can do. I'm going to emphasize on this again and again. AI is a supporting tool. So it does all the small stuff and human do all the big thing stuff but robot can do. Yeah. And then I have list 4 points here. And the reason I list that this is the why this 4 point is what makes sales and marketing major application. So sales and marketing application, what make it one of the major application is first of all predictive forecasting. So it is able to predict and forecast the consumer behavior beforehand. So for example, usually if you guys used to shop online, you guys will like give feedback to some product, and then AI will get all of those feedback and then analyze are the customer satisfied with this product or the customer not satisfied with this product. And then by knowing are you satisfied or not, they can make decision either to close the product or continue with the product or even update the stock more of that product. Yeah. So it predicting our behavior, and then it decide on what to do with our behavior by trying to predict what is best possible for us. And then we have the lead scoring and prioritization. And lead scoring and prioritization here means that human, they work good, they work really well, but not 100%. How I work is that instead of giving one direct answer, like if it is an apple, giving is an apple, it won't give just that. If you see an image of an apple, it won't just assume that's an apple. It will have multiple options, like 65%, this is an apple, 25%, this is a pear, 10%, this is a guava. It will have multiple options, and then the highest among those may be the one that is being chosen. That is what lead scoring and prioritization means. It's about to get the information and calculate the accuracy of each data, and then it's about to prioritize what should be the best possible solution that we deliver to the end consumer. That's what lead scoring and prioritization is. And expert recommendation. Expert recommendation is like what Netflix does. It's taking things to another new level. It gets our information. It knows what we are like, and it's trying to predict what we are like, even though before what we are going to like. Yep. So it's recommend us something that maybe we like and maybe we are not like based on the historical data. Simple as that. And performance and productivity enhancement, I don't think I should mention it here because I mentioned it many times. Performance is sure is better than human because they don't have human errors. And even though they have like machine errors, humans are able to fix it more easily than fixing the human errors. You guys are IT men. I think you guys know how horrible human error is. And productivity enhancement, just like I said, increase productivity because now we have a lot of resources more than ever. So only when we have a lot of resources will then productivity comes out of that. Simple as that. So then we have customer services. So let me take a look at my notes here. And customer services. And today, more businesses are taking advantages of AI in order to automate and improve their customer relationship management, which is known as CRMs. So with advanced technologies such as chatbot and AI-enabled communication. So with that, the instant communication is not impossible anymore. In the old day, if you want to contact to the realtor asking for some product, you have to go through emails and then you have to wait for 2 or 3 days before they have to email you back. But now, no, the instant access to the product is possible. With one touch of a button to the live chat app, then someone will come to you and replies to you, and then you ask them question, and they will be able to reply to you instantly based on the keyword you have given them. I mean, that's amazing. Before we spend 2 or 3 days just to get the answer, but now with the touch of the button, you get everything you need, and someone is already there for you 24 hours in 7 days a week. Amazing. And yep, according to industry estimate, over 30% of all online retail transactions are made on mobile phones. And with the increasing use of mobile app messaging and social media usage, they are the top 5 category of app accessed by online users. And last but not least, business enterprise now are majorly investing into AI-powered chatbot to provide customer communication and service. And chatbot is what I mentioned earlier. It stand by for you 24 and 7 hours and love you as always. Yeah. And yeah, the last one is data security. So I would like to remind you that data security is also involved in business logic as well. Before it is not, but now it is because in the recent years there are a lot of cyber attack happenings all around the world. To Yahoo, to Equifax, to what else? Many others companies that have their data been breached. And you know what happened? People or customer lose interest or lose trust in them because their confidential data has been revealed and the CEO has to step down every time this happens. So data security is also one of the important aspects their business has to consider. And that's why I put it one of the major application as well. So it's about to detect malicious activity and staff attack. It's about to enhance current security measure and automated tests. So detect malicious activity and staff attack means that, even before the real case happen, we are able to detect it earlier so that we resolve it earlier. So when the hackers are trying to exploit us using those vulnerabilities, it's not existing there anymore because we have already resolved it. So instead of letting the hacker exploit our system, we exploit our system ourselves and then building it. So this way, we won't have to deal with the worst scenario, which is the hacker exploit our system. And then enhance current security measure, well, simple as it is, enhance the confidential data security, normal stuff. Yeah. And automate repetitive security test, it basically means it's like you are putting a security guard in your office. It is staying there 24 and 7 hours. And then with the security guard there, it at least about to prevent something bad happen. And imagine without a security guard there, yep, something is going to happen really bad to your data or your company. This is like security guard at the company. And yep, this is some of the survey I have searched for. 75% of survey IT executives reported the use of AI for network security as of 2019. And then data security and endpoint security come next with 71% and 68% respectively. Yep. So data security here is 71%, man. Guys, see this rating. It's really high. 71% is nothing small. That just prove how important data security is involving in the business logic. Okay, so this is the last slide of our presentation. So bear with me, we are going to finish this really soon. So really, real world example of business application that involve the use of AI. We have fraud detection by analyzing whether that document is a fraud or not, or is it some type of malware so that we can, dispose it off earlier. And it's involved in data security and personalized advertising and marketing messaging. Yep, their app is all around us. You can have play Facebook or shop online. You shop this thing, and then they recommend you with this thing. And sometimes they even chat back to you like you haven't done anything, but they just chat back to you and then recommend you some products. That's what we call personalized advertising and marketing messaging. They message to you back directly and give you what they consider your personal preference. So maybe you are interested and then you may buy that. You may buy that. Yeah. And then customer service via telephone or chatbot. Yep, it's basically chatbot, communicating with human, simple as that. And customer behavior forecasting and product recommendation. I have mentioned this a lot of times since it is so important and it is so real in our everyday life. They are predicting our behavior, what we are doing, and then they are trying to predict what they are going to like and do next by recommending something. And then boosting the sale on Facebook page. If anyone here used to do their business on Facebook page, boosting the sale algorithm. Yep. Actually, there's no human or some employee from Facebook that will go and distribute yourself everywhere. No, that's not how it works. They just have an AI that will distribute yourself all around the world. It's not human doing, it's an algorithms and AI works. And then proposal reviews. And proposal reviews here is an interesting application. I would like to point that back. And I think that I have it here. This is an exciting AI application and it's safe in incredible time and improve quality for customer. So when a facility manager receives a proposal from a contractors, machine learning analyze the scope, the pricings, and the contractor historical performance. So to determine if the proposal is the right cost and may be done at the right quality level, it's a huge win for our clients. I mean, before those tests are done by facility managers or those stuff, but now done by robot. Amazing. And predicting vulnerability exploitation. This is related to data security. Yep. So basically, it's just predicting what is the vulnerability in our system, and then once they have it, they exploit it and they resolve it before the worst scenario happens. Simple as that. Okay, so Q&A, I will lead it to the end of the session. And thank you. And some of the reference.
Thank you,
And
Mr. Lack, for providing a very slanted and well explanation. And I learned a lot of like AI stuff, and I hope everyone also does. And I see there's 4 questions in the chat box, and I will read those each one by one for you, and maybe you can answer it one by one. So the first one, according to your point of view, how can AI help businesses in Cambodia? Please provide an example. Two, what should be a good strategy to adopt and adapt AI in the business sector in Cambodia? And three, what are the consequences if AI Maybe you can give the pro and cons as
Okay, so why should Cambodia adopt AI technology? That's a good question. The reason why Cambodia should adopt AI is that, like I said, you want to stay for the long run, you have to adopt AI because AI is the future. And like I said, AI is going to revolutionize our life just like internet does. So then the same question will be like this. I bet a few years back, there will be people asking the same question. Why do we need internet for our business? Why do Cambodia have to do that? But now, as you can see, Cambodia is using internet to do their business everywhere. So AI will also be the same as that. You might not think it's necessary, but there are times that come when the whole world is going toward AI, then we can't just stand still. We will have to go to adapt using AI and reap the benefit from it. It's the future basically. It's the same question as the internet. But now internet is being used, so AI is the same. You might not understand it now, but in 30 years to come, let's not say that long, in 10 years to come, you will see AIs everywhere. Why is that? Because of the advantages it provides over traditional methods. And as a human being, whenever there is an advantages, we got to reap the benefit from it. Simple as that. That's why Cambodia not should, but will do it in the future without even being told to, because that's how the world is going toward. Yeah, and your second question, I think it's the consequence of AI, right? Yep. So everything comes with both pros and cons. Just like a hammer, if we talk about its advantages, yep, it's about to do so many things. It's about to build a really big houses, a really big building, and many more construction stuff. But on the other hand, it con is that if humans use hammer to hurt people, that will result in a server in jail as well. That's the same to AI. AI can facilitate our life a lot better than it ever was before. But you are using it in the wrong way, such as in the military, where now there's a lot of machine guns out there that does not need humans monitoring, but can shot like 50 bullets within 50 seconds. And that is what we are frightening. So, yep, that's its consequence. One of the example of the consequence, the consequence can be so many, but the obvious one may be if the military use that technology in their fields and then trying to pick a World War III or something, it's going to be really bad. That's the consequence. Yeah, and if we talk about the consequence in business, well, maybe it's replacing humans with robots. So it will result in a reduction of many jobs, but it will also result in the emerging of other several jobs as well. So I don't think it can be called as consequence because I would like to say it has a trade-off better than a consequence. Yeah, that's the end of my answer. Hello? You guys hear me, right? Oh, so
yes, yes.
yep, so that's the end of my questions. So what's the next question, please? Hello? Wait, my internet connection is not doing
Yes,
well
we can hear.
today. Oh, yeah. So is there any other question? Because I already answered some of the question which you have mentioned. Well, you can ask any other question, like how is my study like abroad, maybe if you want to. So any other question?
Maybe you guys have
Hello.
any question?
Yeah.
There's another
Okay.
question.
So since like
Um,
someone is willing to ask now. So how is your study like abroad? Well, it's basically not so different from here. The only difference is that I live alone, and that's it. And if we talk about the curriculum and everything, well, I'm not sure how the curriculum at Zaman is, but I'm gonna mention like some of the specific thing we do at our school. So for my first semester, we, we took class in the Apple Academy. It is provided by our school. Yep, so we took class for the whole semester. We took class in the Apple Academy. And yep, we were given accessories such as laptop and iPhone as well yep, to learn and test the Apple product. And then we learn iOS development. Yeah, that's for the first semester. And I think we also have learned Python, we have learned C++, and we also have learned some of the WordPress stuff and and multimedia and human interaction. That's the course for the first semester. And for the second semester, we have data structure and algorithms, we have Java, we have computational mathematics. Yep. And the rest two course is basically the social skills, which I'm not going to mention. And then on the third semester, we have algorithm analysis, we have database, we have computer network and security, and I think we have computational mathematics, part two. Yeah, it's called computational mathematics tools. And yep, we learn a lot of math, to be honest, because I remember when I was at RUPP, I learned a lot of math as well, but it's like theory math. But when I get there, I learned a lot of math and then I practice a lot of it, and it was hard. That's what I think. And then the fourth semester, which is the semester of the second year, we learned computer architecture and operating system. We learn intelligent system, and we have web app and securities, and we have the other tools, social skills. Yep, brief. Oh, so how did I get to study abroad? Well, basically, talking about study abroad, it's not my first time trying to apply for scholarship abroad because I've been trying this since I was grade 8. I've been taking in many contests like UWC, Asian Scholarship, and and any type of organization scholarship, and you are involved in math scholarship, Chinese scholarship, Thai scholarship. I apply for everything, and talking about failing, I failed almost 10 times before I get to study abroad. So it's no easy test, just to tell you. Oh, okay. So guys, if you have any question, you can put it now because we don't
because
have
we
much time
have
left.
another session, so I think that if you guys have any more questions, you guys can um, send it directly through our guest speaker email. Yeah, session now. So maybe can we have a group photo before it ends?
Oh, okay. So, yep, one tip for studying abroad. If you guys want to do it now because it's no easy test. Yep, end of the answer. Okay, I guess we can take photo now.
Maybe we can have a group photo right now. Okay, so
Yeah, I suppose so.
are you here? Video? Okay, that I think that it is the end of our session now, and thank you all of you guys for joining for spending your valuable time with us, and I really give all of my appreciation to our guest speaker for today for spending days to prepare all of the things just to share with us for today. And please stay safe and take care in Indonesia as well. Thank you. Bye, guys. Anyway, we have
Yeah,
another next session, like four session. Feel free to check our website to find out and to join. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.
okay, so thank you guys. Stay safe and hopefully you learned something today. Yeah, hopefully.